Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday of December. We're almost upon the holiday season. It's great to think that we're almost here. It's surprising to think that we're almost here, but it's also great that we have some time to spend with our family and friends right around the corner and to think about how grateful we are for what we have for this year and also what we're excited about for 2021. It's an exciting day. The vaccines have started to get out into the healthcare workers, and we're excited about that progress. Hopefully, there's going to be more news every day. I hope you're all staying happy and healthy and remembering to also stay careful during this holiday season because of all the health concerns that are still out there. Wanted to talk about a few things today to give you some motivation for your Monday and how we think about business and what some good practices are for this time of year. And it's been, as we know, it's been an interesting year for all businesses because we've had to pivot and adapt our business practices to this online environment, which is great for us discovering about new ways to deliver what we have to offer. But now we're at the time of year where we're thinking about 2021 next year and what's coming up and what's going to happen. But we're also thinking about ways that there's your sales processes might be not stalled, but there's people aren't probably spending money quite as readily or quickly on these higher end ticket items right now. And so it's time to think about your business practices and maybe a new avenue or new target audience to discover in 2021. And now is the time to start thinking about those things, about some different methods that you can use for marketing or different ways to network, to think about different ways that you can ascend your offer and to serve the clients that you already have, but also think about serving clients in a different target audience. An example. So I was talking to I have quite a few friends in real estate, and there's there's the market, there's the real estate market in the $200,000 range, and then there's the real estate market in the $400,000 and up range, and two different demographics definitely of where you're at in town, but also with the buyers that you deal with. So there's just a different way of going about things, but thinking about how to access and market both of those target audiences of where they're going to live and what and how you're going to communicate with them. There are different ways to think about that. The same thing can be said for anybody in professional services. When you want to serve a clientele that has more property or that has more cars or whatever that is, then we have to think about how to ascend our offer in a way of how we can reach a different target audience, because not all of the same messages work with all audiences. We have to think about our communication and adapting that communication to that target audience. And so just as a way to kind of rethink our value proposition and rethink how we are communicating about the service that we provide and what values and results that our clients will have at the end of the transaction, those things are all really important to think about just generally. But as we go into 2021 and maybe we want to serve a different audience or go into a different target market while still managing to serve those that we currently are a part of. So just a couple of things that were on top of my mind today. I read this great article in the Harvard Business Review, which was all about ascending your offer and talking about how we can massage what it is that we have to serve a different clientele. And it's about marketing in different places and getting out of our comfort zone a little bit, but also leveraging the current relationships that you already have. And this is what I got out of the article. Really interesting and we have heard this over and over again from marketers, or maybe you don't hear this from marketers, but you hear it from many people, that it costs you a whole lot more to get a new client than it does to serve a former client or to cultivate a lead or to re-engage a lead that you've already had, rather than to get a new client. So it costs a whole lot less to do that. I think the percentage is about 80% less to get return or referral service than it is to get a brand new client, because you've already established that relationship with the person, you have already had a business transaction. So it's a lot easier to go through those channels, your current leads, you're going through those clientele for referrals, for return service, than it is to get brand new leads. So thinking about leveraging your offer and not necessarily offering something different, but providing some additional value to your clients to encourage them to give you that return and referral service. They've already trusted you. They already do trust you in a business transaction, but reimagining and re-articulating what it is that you do and what additional coverage or additional offer that you have for your current clients or your former clients is really a way to deepen your relationship with your clients and have a lifetime client rather than just a one-time transaction client. So it's thinking about it in this time, particularly when we're thinking about new strategies for the upcoming year. Serving our base is something that is really going to help leverage the resources that we have us spend less money on marketing materials and more money into leveraging our offer for the clients, for our former clients. So serving that base is a really important thing to do. That's a way that we can begin to deepen our offer and to deepen our relationship and also get more money flowing into our industry from those current relationships that we already have. If we're thinking about reaching outside of our foundation, always serving your foundation and serving those leads that have become such an important part of your business growth. That's what we should establish those relationships and have that strong foundation. But a way we have to pivot our business and think about how we can serve that population, but also get into a new network and maybe start to think about getting out of our comfort business zone and serving a new type of client or a new target market. So as your business grows, we of course think about how our businesses can pivot and reach new audiences. And all of us have thought about this over the past couple of months as we've had to pivot our business practices to serve just our current clients and new audiences. But we've got to think about how to network in different groups and how to serve different audiences and how to solve problems and how we can articulate that value proposition within a new target market and a target market that's connected to your foundational market. So you don't have to, it's not creating an entirely new marketing stream. It's just changing a few words and changing a few pieces of your marketing to access a new clientele. You know, towards the end of the year, it's always a good time for business reflection and thinking about what we've done and how we can make our business better. Then maybe that's a good challenge for 2021. How can I pivot some of my marketing pieces, or how can I pivot some of my marketing plans to be able to access a new clientele? If you're putting most of your resources into digital marketing and you're not getting the return that you want, it's time to start thinking about how you can transition your messaging to reach a new client or to become much more specific and pinpointed on meeting those needs of the client that can help establish those new relationships and bring a new stream of clientele into your service. So you can use the same type of communication, but we have to think about how to pivot that message to be able to draw people in. It's also an important reflection to think about at the end of the year. Last week I talked about how marketing and social media dilemma that we're all in because social media and marketing, digital marketing is flooded right now. We have so many messages out there. It is even more and more important that small businesses think about making that distinct connection to a certain client and solving problems for a certain client to help deepen their relationships, to help create that initial offer that can bring your audience in, but then how we make that a part of our foundation and serve those larger audiences and larger clients. So important business reflection at the end of 2020, at the end of every year, but particularly at the end of this year where we've had to pivot so many of our business practices, where maybe sitting on a Zoom call in a meeting is now part of our foundational practice. Maybe we need to think about how to transition that into our marketing in 2021. So I hope you are all doing well. I hope I've given you some useful tidbits to think about how to ascend your offer by deepening those relationships that you already have, the people that already trust you, and leveraging those relationships for more business, or to think about how to reach a new target audience and to think about how to leverage the communication and the messaging that you already have to access a new target audience. So I hope you guys have a great Monday, and I'll see you next week. Next week we'll talk about the holidays, but I hope you are all doing well and surviving this chilly weather. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye.